You can't control me. You can't control me.
Oh, how did you even do that?
Okay.
I'm not even angry. I'm so impressed.
Yeah,
Cocaine magic.
Oh, I'm so sad. I forgot to adjust the cameras in the other scenes. I'm so mad at myself. Okay, hi everybody.
This is why you have as few scenes as possible.
I only have 3, but I forgot to.
Have you tried having just one?
Oh my god, yes. That's what we're doing today. We're just gonna do the one, okay? Okay. I'm emotional. I feel like I have a blob of emotions today, so shut up.
I am a glass cage of emotion.
But welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to the Night Crew Show. Hello everyone. Hope you're having a great evening. Tonight we have, of course, members of the crew, Sigelian and Kai Overt, but tonight we have our esteemed guest, Mr. HCVertigo, the great, the daddy of the dad jokes. There's no grain of salt that has not been mined.
I mean, do you want to hear one of my jokes?
Well, after that,
jokes.
you have to.
You have to tell us one of your dumb jokes now.
All right, what's the pirate's favorite ship in Star Citizen?
Oh, I know this one.
Well, actually, no, it's a caterpillar.
You changed it. Oh no, wait, that's the same.
It could be the 350R, or if you want, you can do that.
I was thinking it was your Cutlass joke, but yeah.
Yeah, you see a girl at a bar, Citizen, down the bar, and you walk up to her with the drinks in your hand, and you give her a drink and say, "Excuse me, miss, do your parents happen to work for Drake Interplanetary?" And she says, "No, why? Because you seem like such a cute lass to me."
Oh my god.
There you go.
Top 10 that you've been playing the game too long.
Yes. I go to I have a bunch of jokes written down.
Well, it's good because our content is fairly anemic, so we're going to need those. So
yeah,
keep them in reserve.
I don't know. Based on some of the discussions we were having before we got started, I think we're going to have a lot to say tonight about certain things.
We're going to have some trouble finishing by midnight, actually.
Yeah. So,
Jesus Christ.
Well, not midnight for you.
I don't even think we'll touch Jesus Christ, and that's like
we probably will.
He's way down the totem pole compared to what we have to talk about.
God.
We're getting there. Just give us a couple of more minutes.
Oh my goodness. So I will start around. I will come to Vertigo last. But Sigelian, how have you been? How how's your week been? How's life been? In and out of the verse.
So this week was very emotional. The KSP2 trailer came out, and I wept the first time I saw it, and the second time, and the third time, and I watched it the fourth this last night, and the fifth after that was pretty epic. No, I'm serious. It's quite emotional, and also the fact that trailer was made off of the community trailer, like spitting it. You check out the video for the community version of this trailer. It's awesome. And this game development company just totally I want to say ripped it off, but they gave him credit and they just redid it. They did the sequel to that trailer, and it's so magical and it's so heartwarming because this is what they're doing to the Kerbal community, and I'm like, boy, those Kerbalians are great people. But that's been a big chunk of my week. I've been doing nothing but streaming and making money, doing Ask Teen runs and stuff like that, and grinding because that's what we do here. And
waiting for that reset, that credit reset, when everything gets wiped out.
I need to clap them alien resets, man. Yeah.
There. Well, that's.
HC and I are gonna have a chug contest at some point tonight.
That's it. That's the last beer. I can go buy some more tonight.
Ah, Jesus! I wish I could give you some.
Well,
let me just put a glass underneath my CD-ROM tray. You can fax me over some wine.
You have a CD-ROM tray?
Yeah.
A little Willy Wonka chocolate bar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fax Vertigo, the beer and the wine. But Kai, what about you, my dear? How have you been?
So this has been an awesome week for me. I love my work, like real life work, but I'm on vacation PTO this week, so I've actually been able to do some stuff offline. As much as I love streaming, I never got enough time to actually get in and do stuff and learn a lot of stuff. So it's been a good week. I've been trying to balance that with my wife, who hates me because I've been doing that. But I've been doing a lot of mining, a lot of trading, a little bit of FPSing, because it'd be great if my show didn't consist of improving my numbers, because I suck at it so much and people love watching that. So it's been a good week in Star Citizen. I've done, a lot of bug hunting, trying to support folks who really do a lot of bug hunting. So, outside of real life, it's been a really great week for Star Citizen for me. I've been able to play it a lot.
Well, that's good. It's been an interesting patch to say the least. And then, Mr. Vertigo, how have you been, my dear?
Oh, I've been doing all right. A little tired this week, but we're getting over it. I finished up The Expanse not too long ago when Watch got Amazon Prime. That was pretty fun. I loved it.
We watched a couple episodes together.
Yeah. Started up Farscape recently. I could never get through the first season of Farscape, so I'm trying to force myself to the first season. Ben Browder, he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, I've heard you talk about this on your stream, how you don't like Ben Browder.
For some reason, the way he acts, the way he portrays his characters, it's just rubs me the wrong way for some reason. When he showed up on Stargate SG-1, I'm like, oh god, not this guy. I don't know. It's just him, right? There's something about him I don't much care for. And then what else? Been doing a lot of grinding. Got a Caterpillar in Star Citizen, so we're doing a lot of trade runs, high profile trade runs, using Galog a lot, which is Ravier's proprietary. Galog is like Galactic Logistics proprietary trade app.
I don't know if I call it proprietary, but yeah,
something like that. Ravier made it himself. So we've been testing that out, finding stuff, helping them add, fill in gaps in the application.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Hey, Ravier, Ravier Shorty, how come this outpost is missing X thing? I'm looking at this thing and it's missing, and on Galog it doesn't have it. So yeah, so we've been doing that a lot this week. Nice chill streams, not a lot of salt with that. Managed to miss, I think Shadow Moses was doing their tariffs this week and last week. I think I managed to get only hit by them once. So I haven't heard too much salt about that. They were making traders pay to be on the servers.
Oh, good God.
I've heard of that from a couple other people too. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I saw the few like having a thing with them where he was like willing to take them like a caterpillar full of gray cats as a payment.
Is that what he did?
Caterpillar full of gray cats as payment.
I was kind of watching him, but like I wasn't, because I was doing some other stuff. Like, because I was actually streaming and I happened to see him like being like, because he was in the same server as me. He was like, I can't do this now, guys. I'm sorry. It was. Oh, they're weird.
Yeah.
But as far as me, I've been doing pretty good. I don't know if any of you saw on Twitter, but I may have sent somebody a birthday gift, and he loved it.
Yeah, that was really cool that you did that. I thought that was great.
Pretty cool.
He like the moment he like opened that kit, and he was like, like I died. So yeah, if y'all haven't seen it, I for those of you who haven't seen it, I sent Disco Lando a Whataburger like care package kind of birthday gift, and he thought it was from Whataburger. He thought Whataburger sent it to him because they've sent him stuff before, and then he was like, "Oh, I finally read the letter that was enclosed telling me it was from Buster." So, happy birthday, Jared! Tomorrow's your birthday. Happy birthday! I think he's like 41, 42, something now. I don't know why I know that.
27.
He's 29.
27, yeah, 29.
This is 29th birthday. But other than that, you know, streams have been going good. I have the Spice Must Roll campaign tomorrow on the not tomorrow. I keep thinking tomorrow's Saturday. Saturday, I have the Spice Must Roll on the Astro Pup stream, which is an Expanse RPG, Vertigo. You might be interested in
Expanse.
Now that you're a fan. But anyway, yeah, my week's been pretty good. And then I got super mad at my boyfriend today about some stuff, but that's my own business.
No, I'll tell you, there's something, we won't go there, but there's definitely something there this week.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Boys are dumb.
We'll talk after the show.
Yeah, okay.
Vertigo.
We'll compare notes.
Okay, good.
Vertigo, are you just caught up now, or did the new season come out and I just didn't know about it, of The Expanse?
No, season 4 is still on. They're still waiting on season 4, so I'm caught up to where it is on Amazon right now.
I'm not quite. I'm thinking like end of season 2, beginning of 3. I haven't finished it yet.
3
but I
is
love
where
it.
everything just takes off. It gets
Oh,
really
really?
good in 3.
Okay, good. So I'm towards the end of 2, and I just, I don't have enough. Like, I'm not allowed to watch it until like 1 o'clock in the morning. Everybody in the house has to be asleep. It's like Starship Troopers or Fifth Element. It's just like persona non grata in the house. I have to, yeah.
Gotta watch it on the sly.
Yeah. Well, I did want to
You might as
mention...
well just get like a motel room. Take your laptop to a motel room across town and just watch it there. Just rent a motel, just you and your laptop for the night.
Say that I haven't thought about it, but again, I think that's post show notes that I'll be talking about with Buster. So.
Well, I did want to mention that K Penguins and I, as far as I know, are the only members of the night crew at TwitchCon. So make sure if anybody's going to TwitchCon, you come say hi to us and yada yada. And then also the Mayhem League is, I think, continuing this weekend with K Penguins and some other people for that little tournament, our little Star Marine tournament.
Oh yeah, I'm going to that. That's exciting.
So definitely go check that out this Saturday. I can't make it because I'll be playing the Spicemas role on, like I said, on Astropub stream. But yeah, y'all go check it out if you're interested in watching it or, participating. I think there's some information in our Discord on how to do that. I don't know all the specifics.
Oh, there's the Daymar Rally. Holy crap, 07 Daymar
Hey,
Rally.
Daymar
Rally.
Daymar.
Lots of new vehicles. I feel like they didn't have enough work to do last year. They have like 2 or 3 more vehicle classes to deal with. I'm looking forward to the ballista class.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see those slow races.
The ballistic class.
But
get stuck in a little girly because the ballista doesn't actually articulate in the center, so it just gets
it's gonna be amazing.
Stuck in a little valley.
It's gonna be the best Daymar Rally ever.
That's all a part of the game, man. That's all a part of the game. You gotta roll
Until
with it.
people start shooting each other.
That's all a part of the game, man.
Also part of the game, exactly.
Also part of the game.
I love you,
It was like
Sigallian.
that last year. We were shooting one another. But hey, I'd rather see rockets being flung at one another. That seems like a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
Well, speaking of ballistas, gentlemen, what is your bug of the week? I will start with Vertigo this time. So bugs of the week can be, you know the drill. It can be like a really cool bug that you like really enjoyed. It can be something that really annoyed the shit out of you. Whatever. Anything that stuck out to you this week, bug wise.
Let's see here. Well, there was the pipes. I did an issue council report for the pipes at Karaya today. I walked past a set of pipes in Karaya and they just sucked me right into them. Like literally just through the pipes.
That's awesome.
I'm just like, there I am, just hit in the wall, just gyrating rapidly. I'm like, okay, this is a new one. Just like the security post. So I submitted a bug report on that. Actually managed to actually wiggle out of the pipes too, and then I'm like, okay, I'm out. How did I do that again? Let's do it again, because only that's what a smart person does. Let's stick our hand back into the oven after we get burned. Let's see if it hurts the second time as much as the first time.
Maybe it won't. Who knows? I've burnt my own hand enough in the oven. I should know. Literally, not figuratively. And Sigallian, what about you, bug of the week?
It's no fair. I realize, this activity that we do every week about talking about our bugs, and like Vertigo is like the best bug tester in Star Citizen.
Yeah,
So it's kind of not fair to like follow up with that.
That's
but
exactly what I was going to say. Actually.
Yeah,
He's just setting us up for failure.
Yeah. So I guess just to have that as context, I mean, what's really been grinding my gears this week is hover mode. Like, I love hover mode. It's great. I'm not going to speak poorly about it. I need to get good. And God, I'm not getting good fast enough, and I hate that. It drives me bananas. I hate sucking. That's my bug of the week is hover mode.
I actually figured out in a caterpillar, if you have a caterpillar, you can actually pitch down 20 degrees at a certain altitude. You could just let your speed go to 0, and your caterpillar kicks forward a little bit, and you can use because when you're pointed straight down, when you're pointed at 20 degrees, you'll actually get some forward momentum. But as it starts to level out, so if you plant it just right, if you're lined up with your landing pad just right, as your caterpillar comes out of hover mode, it'll actually just drift right over the landing pad. You can come straight down. I've been practicing that all week. It looks really cool on stream. You just come down, you start coming in, let your thrust cut to 0, and your caterpillar just settles out right on top of landing pad.
Oh, shut up, Vertigo.
Yeah, it's the hangers that get me. It's the hangers that get me.
The top loading hangers.
So
always
like,
the top loading hangers.
Yeah,
I always clip the wing. I clip the wing, and then it's all rolls and game over after that.
Yeah, if you touch anything on the hanger as you're coming in, you're done.
Game over.
You just gotta do it perfect. You just gotta do it perfect every time.
Like, remember Operation, that board game or whatever? You had the metal clips.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play that? Man, I suck so much at that game.
Oh my god.
Here I am.
I was not gonna
30 years later or whatever.
Yeah,
30, I never thought you'd be doing it again 30 years
I
later.
know, right? Yeah.
So HC, I don't know how you feel about this, but especially with the Caterpillar, like I desperately want to land in first person. I just can't do it in some locations with the Caterpillar, but with like, I love landing it at Hurston now, and I know exactly how to do it. I can just go right down there. And the thing you just mentioned, that floating in thing, because I love landing big ships. That's my thing. And I definitely noticed that. I love that. And you're right. It looks absolutely sweet.
As for first person on the first person landings on the Caterpillar, I could do them. The top loading hangars are damn near impossible for me with not using
that's what I'm talking about.
Third person. But I can do the open air landing pads at most of the outposts if I line up the wrench. Because when you put your landing gear down, it assigns you a landing pad, even at the open air outpost. It'll just give you a landing pad that's available. If you can line up so you're coming in straight in to the landing pad, you're gonna land like this. If you can actually line that wrench up icon up with your radar display, and you can actually use that to kind of gauge your approach. And once it gets past a certain point in the Caterpillar, if you look down, you just use your free look and you look down to see where that wrench is. You can kind of gauge where you are, because if that wrench icon's right below you and slightly to your right, your Caterpillar is right centered on that landing pad.
That off center to the right part is very important, by the way, because I forget that.
Caterpillar, the majority of the Caterpillar is to your right.
Yeah, it's off center, and I always clip the wing because of that.
Yep.
So is it safe? You said like outposts, but like moons, you mean by moons? Like, is it safe to land on? Okay, so you can land on the landing pads, because I still don't trust them. So, but it's safe to land on the actual pads now?
Yeah, landing pads are safe. They don't store ships. I've literally one stream like a couple days ago. I was on like ITA or something, and then I thought we were gonna catch a sunrise. So I decided to. Yeah, ITA. It was ITA. I think is the name of the moon. ITA. ITA.
Yeah.
I think it should be Tessa, but they call it Tesa. Tesa.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Tesa Spaceport. You can actually hear if you listen to the
they call it Tesa,
announcement. Tesa.
Yeah.
But I thought I was going to catch a sunrise there, so I just like, okay, we're going to slow the stream down, take my face cam off, and we're just going to watch the sunrise over here, and we're just going to talk softly, and just let Star Citizen breathe, right? That's sometimes you're moving so fast, you play the game so much, you're jumping over over the plotted planets at LSR, trying to get to the ship terminal so quickly, get your ship and run out to the ship, and the Twitch compression just turns everything into a blur. You're moving so fast. So sometimes you got to pump the brakes and just let. So I was there. The Caterpillar was right behind me. And it felt like we were there for about 30 minutes. And this freelancer landed next to me. He was trying to throw the box. There's another bug that's been bugging people too. He's trying to do a delivery mission. And every time you put the box down in the freelancer, you can watch it drop right through the freelancer. Just show back up on the landing pad. So I'm watching him. We're waiting for the sunrise. And we're watching this guy mess around with this for like 30 minutes. And my Caterpillar was there the entire time. So looks like they got that bug nipped in the bud. So to speak, for now.
In the butt.
The bud.
Bud. I thought you said the way you said it.
It's a gardening term.
Butt.
I just want to add one last thing to that. The first person landing. So in my stream, my viewers challenged me. It was like an ice bucket challenge to just do a stream all in first person mode flight, and I did it. It was hard as hell. And they're like, okay, so now pass it on. It's like ice bucket challenge. So if that's the case, that those rules can apply, then I would pass that on to you, Kai, and try a stream where you have to do 100% in first person flight mode. See what that does.
That actually might be brilliant, because at some point you got to cut the umbilical and do it, right?
Exactly. It's uncomfortable as
hell. What did I do?
There's really no punishment in here. Like, no one's going to do it when this game goes live in like 5 years. But
probably not. Yeah, there'll be indicators and stuff like that, right? Instrumentation.
But I will say, I'm starting to look for, like HC said, like off to the right or anything else. Like for each ship, if you fly it enough, you can start to see markers, which once you do it enough, you don't even have to do it per landing site. You just sort of get a feel for the ship, and that's how it should be. But I'm not there yet for all of them.
Takes time. And every ship has its own little personality too.
I don't know if my marriage has that kind of time, but I'm trying.
Yeah. That's always a challenge.
Oh my goodness. Well, as far as my bug of the week, I'm kind of sick of the attritions like annihilating me all the time.
Oh yeah. There's only one real weapon in combat now.
Yeah. And it was like it was like I was playing with a few people last night, including Moist Noodle, and I was kind of saying, I'm gonna put my big girl panties on. I'm gonna buy some Trish's. And he even pointed out, he was like, well, you know, because some people are like, well, Trishans are OP, don't buy those. And then like, you know, Noodle's like, yeah, but you kind of have to remain competitive right now. And I was like, that's a good point to make. So I'm sick of the attritions like just annihilating everybody and it being the one weapon that everybody has now. So that's my bug of the week.
we've had meta shifts before. When we first started out with Arena Commander initially, it was like Omni Sky Commander, and then sledges were like their weapon, and then
there's always
there's always been one weapon system that shows up as the top dog.
Noodle, I had Omniskis. I call them Omniskis. I had Omniskis on it, and then Noodle's like, "That's so 3.4.3." I was like, "Shut up."
That's so 3.4.
Look at her, Omniski, Becky. No, but yeah, the bugs of the week. That was fun. So let's start into last week's Star Citizen Live. We had, what's his name? Pedro
Machado, Camacho.
Yeah,
Macedo,
Pedro.
I would never.
Beautiful Pedro did an excellent job. As far as I just go through my quick first impressions. I really liked it. I watched it today. Actually, I didn't watch it last week, but I watched it today. I thought it was really fun. I thought some of the stuff he had to offer us and show us was really nice. And I think kind of the first one he was showing off, I really loved. And then I actually really liked it when they went through the 300i commercial and he kind of showed off like what his thoughts were through that process of how he wanted things to sound with the visuals. And my favorite comment he made was something along the lines of like, I guess the original commercial didn't have her like hook, like at the end of the commercial, she sort of like, there's a dude, right, that parks too. And like, she kind of walks arm in arm with him after that. And he had made the comment, I like the first one where she was by herself. She didn't need him. I thought that was so precious. But yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think he's an excellently talented individual in the world. And I actually also liked how he talked about his dad being a Wing Commander fan. And they had kind of a moment where they talked about their dads. Well, speaking of, Disco Lando's dad did come to my channel and follow me, by the way.
That's good.
So I've met that sweet gentleman, you know, via the internet. He's very, very nice. But yeah, like it was good. It like, you know, I felt like Jared didn't have a lot to do, but at the same time, like I think one of the things I like about it is like one of those kinds of ones, like he just kind of lets the person go on and they just show you like they don't need to be having him necessarily interject all the time because they're carrying.
I sort of want to go next. Because I don't think that's always the case. I think he's sometimes filling. I think sometimes he's filling space, and I think he was just in awe here.
Yeah,
like,
you can see
him a lot like this, and
he had that pretty lighting too.
I love Pedro like you love Jared. I mean, like
I don't know about that. Like, are you sure?
Well, like, you better send him a birthday present. Like, whatever his favorite hamburger is, you better send him a birthday present.
You better send him gear from that company.
So at least, you know, Jared's picking up the phone for you. I don't think Pedro will for me, but I just, you know, this game would not be the game it is without him. It was, I don't know, it was fate over it or else. I don't know how CIG scored him, but he was the perfect person for this. This was really great for me because I loved listening to what he puts into what he does for this, especially for this project. And I love that he's a gamer. But when he was talking about, you know, how he built the sound for Art Core, how this was a little watery and he added a little watery effect because he thought of it as a pool of citizens, you know, he did things in the A chord and the C chord on purpose because it was Arc Core. You know, he was building these really complex melodies, you know, the 3 bass, the 8 bass, it equaled 11, whatever. And he just felt like he constructed his melodies because he felt Art Core felt very constructed. I mean, he is so tied into his projects. It was just awesome. He just doesn't make music because he likes making music. He really understands our universe, which is so important. And I just loved listening. It was an hour long, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, one of the things he actually said that I thought was very like, it kind of made me go, yeah, he definitely was the right guy for the job from the get-go. Was he's talked about, he's like, you can make like really nice sounding music, but if it doesn't have meaning behind it, then it doesn't have the same weight. Something along those lines. Like, he basically talked about the meaning, like he put a lot of meaning into like his composure for the game and just for any of his projects, and I was like, yeah, I can hear it. Like I can hear his intentions when I hear his music. So I think he's a very talented man.
In your moment, like he said, he used like early on, he said he uses Cubase. I was like, oh, I use Cubase. I could be famous someday too, but no. Cubase
listen to Kai over there. He's like, oh, he uses this math and this meaning, and I'm like, he just makes pretty music. I like his music. It's good music. Makes me feel good.
It's real pretty. I think it sounds pretty.
Yeah. He just thinks, but that's it. So I brought out specific examples because that was important to me. But he just thinks of these things. He doesn't just like, okay, you hired me, I'm going to make some music.
Yeah,
it means something to him. Like you said, he is a gamer. You talked about his father. They played Wing Commander, and it meant a lot to him that they heard the music. So it's like he's just, he's the perfect person, and just understands music and understands the game. So it's
right.
I gush about Pedro like you gush about Jared. So that's all I'm saying.
Aww.
And Jared's on every week, and Pedro's just this like every 2 years. So
yeah.
I get to get it out tonight.
I'm glad it made you happy, Kai.
It made me very happy.
Glad
We're not going to say hi happy, but I'm pretty happy.
I'm glad that it made your little heart melt.
It did.
I was pretty stoked about it as well. If I can offer my opinion on it.
No, you're not allowed. No, please go ahead.
No. Please. I just want to say that you have a different perspective than me, because he's definitely not my Disco Lando, but I have a certain appreciation for him because, I don't know, I used to be a part of a streaming soundtracks radio, streamingsoundtracks.com, and I love classical music. I love film compositions, like film music. I love it. Like, it's all I listen to. I love it, and I do it on my stream too. So this guy, who is apparently a student of Hans Zimmer, which is crazy, is basically like the representation of the next generation of classical composers, which is pretty cool. So I appreciate him a lot because of that. Also, he said that his favorite composer was Palestrina, which is kind of cool. Mostly choral music, like that's a lot of like churchy kind of people, like heavy vocal stuff. So if that's kind of his favorite composer that he had mentioned,
jam,
that's what we should be expecting from more of the Star Citizen stuff, even though I understand that he's able to identify scenarios and situations and create music around that. But obviously he's going to have a strong influence by that choral music, which I think is awesome, because if I could think of most memorable soundtracks, heavy choral track is really good in my opinion. So really, really cool guy. I really hope to meet him someday, honestly. Of all the people, I hope to meet at a Citizen Con. I hope he's at one of them. It'd be spectacular.
What about you, Vertigo? Any opinions?
I think I'm going to be the contrarian here. I was having trouble staying awake through the entire episode. And honestly, it looked like Jared was too, to me. It's one of those episodes that probably wasn't good for doing a watch party on Twitch. Probably something better for watching yourself, because there really wasn't much commentary I could add without ruining Pedro Camacho's work.
That I'd agree with.
What he was trying to show off. It's one of those things where everybody just kind of had to sit in silence and just appreciate the work that he was putting in. It's not like you can. Well, they're making that. They were making items for the models. The very unfortunate crotch spider episode, which everyone had much laughs over.
It's a 5-0. It's a 5-0.
Well, see, I think
that's on my end.
You never suffer from being a content creator. You are just fantastic at that, and I think Pedro was just doing a lot of that. But yeah, so I could see where some people will think it was a snooze fest. I 100% agree with you. It might have been something watched best on your own. I loved it.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely something you had to have a passion for. I mean, I turn off Star Citizen soundtrack not because I don't like it, but because I don't want to wear it out.
Yeah, same thing.
I feel the same way. Yeah.
There's a couple radio stations out here that absolutely ruined some of my favorite bands. like 99.9 The Rock of Seattle. They never left the 90s, and they only play the same three AC/DC songs.
Oh, God.
The same three Megadeth songs, the same three Metallica
You
songs,
actually
the
would
same
be
three
surprised
Godsmack songs.
on that subject. Just as an aside, generally there's a like if it's Cumulus Station or any of those like it's owned by one of those major nationwide corporations, they actually do have a list of songs that they will and won't play. And so there is an element of like there's a corporate control there that like just like here, let's just pick the top 3 or the like X songs because those are the ones
the
that
FCC
people know.
makes you publish all of that ahead of time. So
Yeah.
that's
So,
but yeah, they essentially ruined like one of my favorite bands is Megadeth. Love Dave Mustaine, but they ruined Symphony of Destruction for me because they just wouldn't stop playing it. Like every time I hear Symphony of Destruction on my stream, I just want to hit skip. I seriously want to blacklist that song because I've heard it too much in my life.
Aww. I hate Pat Benatar because of my mom.
Oh.
Love is a battlefield, Pat Benatar, and you will not win with me.
Not with those melodies.
Oh,
so yeah, occasionally I like turning the soundtrack back on for but my problem with the Star Citizen soundtrack is it's very dependent on what the game wants it.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you want to hear a track, like if you don't want to hear a specific track, you have to go there like to ArtCorp during a certain time period to hear the night cycle for like ArtCorp or something.
For sure.
Like
you have to catch it at the right time. It's like a train. You have to be there at the right time to catch it.
Yeah. Appreciate it more that
the
way,
CD or something or whatever it is. Like,
but there is they do have playlists on YouTube and whatnot you can fire up if you just want to hear the track.
I've totally listened to YouTube playlists and played Star Citizen just so I can control the music I listen to. I'm a nerd.
Well, I think we very well covered that particular Star Citizen Live. I think the thing I want to go over some quick stuff before we get into the thing that we're all like really inside, like we were talking about before stream started. So let's hit these real quick. CIG is at Gamescom right now. It looks like based on tweets, it's been a really good time. Obviously, a lot of good content's coming out of Gamescom, and you know they're getting to see. They've had a couple. I think they're having that Aegis event, or maybe they already had it. I'm not really this weekend they're having that, so I guess everybody watch out for that on Twitter, and I'm sure that'll blow up. Watch out for that, you know. And
grab some popcorn.
Those of you at Gamescom, you know, hope you get to go to that. Hope you enjoy it. So I just wanted to mention that they're at Gamescom. There was a lore post this week called Terminal Trouble. It was a very interesting one. I thought it was pretty funny, actually. The hunted gets hunted kind of thing. So I encourage.
Don't know. I'm always looking out for the little guy, and I didn't like. That's crap. He should have known better.
Yeah, I thought so too. But everybody go read that lore post if you're wondering what we're talking about. We don't want to spoil it for you, but it is a good lore post. I enjoyed it. Yes. Like I said, it's called Tracker Terminal Trouble. That's the name of it. And then, okay, like let's talk about today's Inside Star Citizen. Vertigo, you are the last to speak.
Vertigo gets us kick this one off.
Yes, why don't you kick it off?
Because then everybody else gets to defend their virtue.
Yes.
Everybody gets to White Knights. I get to be the Black Knight. I don't have to Black Knight this. I don't have to. I just can say.
Just say what you feel like saying about it.
You're
the salty citizen.
I was just disappointed a little bit. I wasn't disappointed enough to click the downvote button, but 1,100 people were definitely. Hold on, let me see. It was, it's up to 1,100 downvotes and 870 upvotes right now. So that should tell you how it was well received. I didn't upvote it or didn't downvote it. I thought it wasn't that strong of an episode. It was basically 8 minutes of Q&A, and I felt like they could have made a 4-minute Q&A segment and then another 4-minute segment of something else and another 4 minutes. And a lot of people in the community agree with me. You go to Reddit, you go to Spectrum, hell, even on Twitter. I'm reading Reddit, and a lot of the posts start with, "I love Q&A, but Q&A is a good department, but they're great people at CIG, but there's a lot of that."
What's that? What's that Ned Stark quote? Like anything that's said before "but" is just bullshit.
Yes. And it's not Q and A. It's oh my god.
QA. Quality assurance.
There, I gave it an upvote.
And I've been reading a lot of stuff on both Reddit Spectrum. Spectrum's afire. My Twitter feed's afire with content creators who are a little disappointed as well. Spectrum's got a lot of threads right now about how they're disappointed. There's a lot of people saying they're unsubscribing. It's just like, you're gonna have weak episodes. This is the first time we've had a weak YouTube video posted to the internet. It's not gonna be the last time either, folks. But
yeah, that's true.
I think it's more of a sign of a trend. A lot of people have been noticing a lot of weak. They're not particularly fond of the ISCS episodes we've got so far this year.
Yeah, there was a Reddit post I saw earlier today where they just basically were criticizing Jared. And I get like some people dislike him, unlike me, obviously, but I mean, like, I kind of challenge people like that to think from the shoes of somebody whose job it is to create content. And I'm not talking about this specific video. I'm just talking about this specific Reddit post I saw. If you go to my Discord, you'll see my opinion on that Reddit thread in all caps. But the problem is like, I've had a lot of jobs in like content creation outside of just Twitch and stuff like that. I, for a long time, was basically like, a company I used to work for could stream on Facebook before Facebook had that in their UI. Mm-hmm. I've done some really amazing stuff with content creation before I came to Twitch. And the thing about that is first of all, it's so hard to make content like that, like where it has to be polished, edited, yada yada. Like it has a whole process to go through. And the second thing is like I wish people had a little more empathy, because like there was at least one person in there that said like he's probably doing his best with what little CIG allows him to share. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I was very like, that was the one, like one of the few comments on that thread that I actually upvoted, because it really is a hard thing to do. But at the same time, when you're working for people who literally have to keep so many things under wraps, it's like, he's probably like, come on, please guys, give me something to put on the show. And, I mean, maybe he isn't, maybe they already, maybe there is like a schedule of exactly what they want, right? Like,
I'm sure his boss has a list of his boss has to sign off on what he puts on film,
which I assume his boss
that's
is
his paycheck.
Like, yeah, like Chris Roberts and those higher up guys, like those direct, because he's essentially the head of his own department. And I just think that it's a tougher job than it looks like it is. And a lot of it was like people just bitching about his jokes, which whatever, like get over it. He's just trying to have a good time.
I've said this before about Jared, just me personally. I don't exactly appreciate his sense of humor, but I appreciate his opinion. I appreciate his position in the company. He is exactly what the face of Star Citizen needs. He's safe.
He's corporate.
He's family.
He's corporate.
He's corporate safe. He's exactly unlike what Apex Legends has. We could cover that later. What the whole Apex Legend is. We covered that on my stream today about what's happening with Apex Legends and their project lead and their gig community manager, what's been going on there. That's a whole other ball of worms.
Yeah,
if
we
you
can
want to see how
not
to manage the community, Respawn Entertainments. Yeah,
but there's like,
you need someone like Jared Huckabee on your company. That's what you need.
But yeah. But what I do want to I want to segue now into this specific episode. I loved this episode. It was actually really nice to understand exactly what the QA team does and have a better understanding. Like for me as a subscriber, exactly the kind of content I wanted to see, because it gave me an in-depth analysis essentially of a group of people that like I've had come in my stream. I've had QA people come into my stream from CIG and literally like Donnie Be Good being one of them in Austin. He's come in, like what, Kai, you were there last week. Him came in my Discord together, and he was sitting there going, okay, Buster, how did you do that? How did that happen? Okay. You can like hear him like scratching down on a piece of paper, like taking notes. I mean, he people like him and other QA people have come in my stream several times and been like, I don't know how you do the things that you do, but we need to have some like discussion about this and like tell me exactly. And then one of the things I thought was really interesting is they actually, the girl that the lead QA quality assurance lady. She actually said like, something like knowing the exact, like as close as you can to the exact amount of time you've been in game when these things happen is really helpful. So I was like, there's like new things I learned about like making how to make
that was Lucy Jones, and she's absolutely right.
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm just super happy to learn. Go ahead, Kai.
Yeah, I've been quiet about it.
I know. You're like,
yes, go at it.
I could see it in your face.
I have an absolute love-hate relationship with QA in real life, with my real life job, but they are absolutely essential. I am so glad they give these people the spotlight. And there were some key things we really learned about this. And actually, I gave you a video, which has nothing to do with how much we love or hate this episode, which came out during this ISC. And hopefully you'll play that at some point later on after we get all this off our shoulders. It was in the Discord.
Okay, so I'll pull it up.
But it doesn't have to be during what we're talking, because we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it a little bit later
after the ashes settle. But there was one of them, Samantha Haley, was talking about this isn't about just finding bugs. It's a lot like a murder mystery. And that summed it up so perfectly for a QA. Like, you really have to go through this stuff, like, and find the person with the lead pipe in the library and stuff like that. So I thought she summed that up really, really well. In addition to, there's a really, I think, a great comment in there which summed up all of Alpha, to be honest with you, by, I think he was the lead QA. I didn't write down their titles, but it was Ray Warner. Is one of the guys who led off the video, and said, their goal is to get the game generally in a state where you can play it for a couple of hours, and that's what they aim for in the live environment. Now, we've all done, it goes live, it plays for much longer than that, but I think it's important to know how much everything in my environment, in any good software engineering firm, nothing goes out unless QA gives it the okay. So a statement like that saying it will generally be in a state where you can play it for a couple of hours says a lot. And then the fact that it stays up much longer and we see all these other bugs, but it's just amazing what these people do. They're definitely the unsung heroes of this game. They play it, more. You see these designers, you see all these other people like, oh, well, I've never seen my ship in the game, which blows my mind.
Yeah, they're not making any new content, but what they're doing is they're making sure that content is working.
Yeah.
But QA is, I don't know, this is probably the only time I'll give QA credit, like, publicly, because my job depends on me not giving them credit usually. But these guys summed up perfectly, and I love the fact that, like any CIG employee, they are so super psyched about their job. And you highlighted another part, Buster, which is super important. If you are going to bug report, you're never going to, it's rare. You'll probably never be, unless you're HC or someone. HC, I don't even know if you've done this, but been like the first to report a bug. But I usually find, I'm sure you have. So I'm sure you have. But I usually find the folks who report those things and report as much as I can about it. I give videos, I give whatever I can. And like she said, how long you've been playing. There's no detail too small. And I was really, really happy that these folks, got their moment in the sun. I don't know if it'll happen again. But I'm going to read it off. There's Ray Warner, Lucy Jones, Daniel Hammond, Samantha Haley, Chris Danks, Dean Mughal, and Rob Kulshow. They did such a great job. Kudos to them, because this game would not be what it is without them. I mean, I just was so happy, even though it might have been a groaner, something that's just not great content. You can't imagine how important it was to them to get the spotlight, because they are so so important to the game that we play.
Yeah, they I like how you called them unsung heroes, because like they really are, like, I mean, they're kind of like, you know, I am the sword in the darkness. Like, they're the watchers on the wall, you know. They're the Night's Watch of the Westeros that is CIG.
Yeah.
You know, they make sure.
I think it showed, and I think Jared knew coming in that this wasn't going to be
favored.
He knew coming in exactly what HC was pointing out. It's going to get a ton of crap, and I feel bad for the QA people, because that isn't what they should be saying. Is people just don't. It's just I don't know if it's a rare moment, because there's people grief and stuff, but it's, in my mind, I was really disappointed in the Star Citizen community for what I'm seeing.
I was too. I'm
sincerely disappointed. It's the first.
It was like so much. Wah! We didn't get to see any like space stations. Wah!
But that's I guess a very colorful statement of it. But I generally see this as a very mature community, and I was.
The levels of immaturity and lack of appreciation.
I was so disappointed, because this is the best, like, huge. This game is so massive, and these people, the entire game, people just don't appreciate. A game will not go into. They are the last, like Chris, even Chris himself, probably can't force these people to release a game, or he can, but he'll do so at his own risk. So these people have more power than almost the chairman himself. So much rides in these people, and it's the first time, and this is a huge statement for me. I'm just some wimpy like streamer, but it's the first time since they did the Kickstarter that I've been disappointed in the community.
Wow.
It really showed a level of immaturity that I was really disappointed. It made me a little embarrassed to be a part of the community.
Like, it's one thing to say, like, hey, I wasn't really into this content, but it's another thing when you're just like, when literally you're just whining because it wasn't like, oh, I didn't get to see the cool new ship, I didn't get to see the cool new things. Like, not everything has to be like again, and it goes kind of back to what I was saying about like the whole everybody hating on, like, you know, Jared as the content guy. Like, it's so much to balance to get anybody to be satisfied in this community anymore. Like, you can never please everybody. But
this is probably the most strongly I felt about anything in the past 7 years. I was really disappointed.
I was just sad. I was just like sad just looking at all the comments on YouTube and Reddit, and I was just like, can we like stop being whiny babies and realize that like these are grown folk who are trying to do their job?
I don't want to make fun of people. That's fine. I get where they're coming from. I get where HC is coming from. That's not it. That's not it at all. It's about the people who are doing the job, and they're doing it so well. And to wake up and see all these comments, and they'll keep doing it. They'll be like, hey,
they must have been briefed about it though. Like, that you can't put out a statement like this, and Chris Robert not being on the PA system being like, attention staff members, there's a flood coming in, please be
but there's just
something like that.
One moment in time with my like 10 viewers on my stream. So,
shitstorm incoming.
Shitstorm incoming.
and I hope that this never makes it to my real life QA staff, but yeah, it's just how I feel about it.
What about you, Sigalian? You got any opinions to share about this?
I think Vertigo kind of summed up exactly how I feel about everything. Except that before the stream started, Vertigo had a great way to describe the gaming community, but I'll let him do that because there are a lot of colorful words there, but they're completely accurate. But I did want to mention a couple of things from this video. Squadron 42 leak. I don't know if you caught that or not. The dude was like, "Oh yeah, when we're not working, we're playing Squadron." Oh, I mean Arena Commander. I'm like, come on. So, anyways, leak.
They're working on. We know they're working on the Squadron.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess there was a screenshot about caves as well. So there's a couple of little content snippets that Board Gamer will make a video out of.
Did you cue Buster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find that thing I put on? You can put it up.
No, I haven't found it.
Oh, is that
my dear God.
But you know what I was thinking is, like, if anybody's at fault, it should be the writers who are responsible for the content of these videos. But like, man, they should hire a Board Gamer to do content writing for these ATVs if they're struggling for content. Because the fact that this guy can put a video out every day, like, still boggles my mind. So like, if they're having a hard time generating content, they should.
What are you talking about, Kai? Are you talking about a clip from this episode, or are you talking about that Pedro?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. No, it was Hoodoo. That's right. It was too big. It was too strong as sorry.
It was too strong.
As Discord said, it was bigger than 8 megabytes. I couldn't send it, but definitely look at that the QA episode, and they had several pictures of caves. It was very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did notice that when I was watching it. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to like dog on the community, but like, and be like, oh, they're whiny babies. I mean, yeah, I said that, but like, it's like every week, these people, like, I love you guys, I love you, Star Citizen community, but like, not everything is gonna be what you want all the time. Like, oh my god, please, please just love each other. like being mean gets you nowhere. Like, kindness does not cost a dime, but you know what meanness costs? It costs your soul.
I wouldn't mind knowing though what the anxiety is, like what's the purpose behind the content drought. I mean, we're not really in a content drought because we survived 2.6, but like what's up? What's going on?
It's okay. What is it?
When you keep going down this road, you're gonna be sleeping somewhere else when CitizenCon comes.
CitizenCon. Yeah. Chris Roberts likes his showmanship. He likes his little carny sideshow. He likes to pull that curtain back, and he likes to wow people. Like, look at this. Look at this wonderful thing we have behind the curtain. And everybody's like oohs and ahs, and Chris Robert feeds off that kind of stuff.
That's true.
Like
he does.
Emotional vampire.
It's like, what do you call it when the water recedes before a tsunami? It's a
tidal wave.
I don't know.
It comes out the harbor wave.
Calm before the storm.
Calm before the storm.
Well, either way,
the guy who did the video, like, who fell several times when he was running through that scenario last year live, does he still work for Star Citizen?
Glenn, poor Glenn.
Yeah, he still works there.
Poor Glenn.
Does he?
Yeah.
Glenn, like every CitizenCon, like Chris Roberts is like, well, Glenn, it's just like that's like
one job, Glenn.
That's like one of my favorite.
Do you remember he forgot to buy Betty pens? Like, I'd never leave port without Betty pens. Like, why would you do such a thing?
Oh yeah, for this crash satellite, right?
Yeah. He broke his legs or something, bled out, and he had to go respawn.
I need to make like a Glenn meme before CitizenCon happens, and be like, well, you know it's CitizenCon, you know it's not CitizenCon until Chris Roberts yells at Glenn in the middle of the thing. Oh, but like, I don't know. I lately I have like seriously, like, privately, and I'll share this now, but I've been so like not like sick of the not sick of the community, but like just getting a little bit flustered, if that makes sense. Like, just getting a little flustered.
Could be a bad week though. No.
Yeah, I actually so here's the thing. Like, the community stretches and encompasses a lot of it. It's an umbrella that covers many points of view. Unfortunately, you can't really gatekeep it. You can try, but people are going to play your game. They're going to have opinions, and they're going to post their opinions.
And that's fine.
They're
Everybody's
allowed to.
entitled to that.
And this is what happens when you have just the open platforms like Twitch, unmoderated or uncurated platforms like Reddit's Spectrum. Even Spectrum tends to be a little heavy-handed, but even their opinions on this current episode were kind of sour. I sat through 15 minutes. I think it was about 15, 16 minutes of Failure Report's latest video for everybody. By the way, it's nothing new, and don't bother watching it. Just him complaining about the lack of news. And that was one of the things he brought up in his video, believe it or not, that the lack of news around Star Citizen was the fact that Star Citizen has grown stagnant, and therefore it's going to fail. It's a scam. It's over, everybody. 90 days tops again.
That's exhausting.
And it's just this kind of like, this feeds into this news cycle. Like, we do have fairly quiet months in Star Citizen between major patches. It's like the Reddit posts that stupid image every time that cycle where it's like, we're at here in the cycle where there's nothing to talk about, so everybody's all pissy. Everybody's on the fucking reg this month because there's nothing to talk about. Sorry, Buster.
It's the same community behavior that chart is illustrating, but it's a little bit different this time. Like, the content itself that's causing it is different, but the behavior is still the same. So I think the chart from Reddit is still accurate.
Yeah, so it's like there's nothing to talk about in Star Citizen. There's no big sexy feature on the horizon other than the 890 jump, which is, by the way, which does look pretty cool. But I've seen a bunch of leaks for the 890 jump. A lot of cool stuff coming out from that, but only like a handful of people have one. But we're right there. It's like we're right there in the cycle where it's like there's nothing to talk about. Therefore, everyone's really pissy, and then we get this next big content drop coming in 3.7. Everybody's gonna be super hyped just before it hits. Everybody's gonna be playing it, talking about Star Citizen being awesome in 3.7, and then when 3.7 becomes stale, it's people are gonna start being pissy again.
So I have a question.
But that's
actually,
Citizen Con.
sort of related to that for HC though. So when they start releasing new ships, I'm kind of tired of them. And 890 is one thing, but
yeah, 890's the next big thing. But I'm tired of the next big thing myself.
Yeah, but I think they need to stop releasing ships just to be able to fly the ship. I think when they release ships now, they need to introduce the mechanics that make those ships interesting. And I'm willing to wait for it, like the Vulture, or I don't know if the Pioneer is a good example because that's way out, but it's a totally different game mechanic. But it would be nice to do something. I'd rather wait to be able to do something interesting with a ship than just fly a new differently shaped ship.
Yeah. Well, actually, Kyovert, they did that with the Arrow and the Valkyrie. You see, that's fair. That's my Simpsons nerd impression. Actually showed up, but yeah, they've done that with a few ships where they just had straight to flight ready ships, and they work as advertised. The Ballista. Well, actually, the Ballista doesn't really work. The missiles, they're missiles. Missiles just don't really work well right now for some reason.
Never have.
I would love to. I would actually narrow your complaint more specifically. Sure. I would love to see industrial ships released with their mechanics already in the game, other than cargo and dogfighting stuff. I'm tired of cargo ships. I'm tired of dogfighting ships. We have one mining ship in the entirety of Star Citizen.
Be nice
tired
for
of seeing that stupid bubble canopy.
Be nice if the fuel ships could actually refuel other ships.
So
I agree. That's
much
a great
more
idea.
eloquent than I am. He grokked what I said and said it better. So there it is.
Well, I know.
I'm fine with that.
So humble.
Modest, too,
so humble.
Modest, very modest, humble bragging. But yeah, I don't know why the community wanted salvage. CIG did the dumb thing and asked the community what they wanted, and everybody's like, we want salvage, and then they pushed salvage back. They were like, salvage, go away.
So many people come in my stream and they tell me how hyped they are for salvage, and I'm like, you realize you're the garbage man. You want to be a garbage man in a virtual space of all the cool things in space out there. You want to be the garbage man.
I want to be the guy that loots the wreck. I want to go find a cool power plant and sell it. That's what I imagine salvage is. Like when I get those beacon missions and those search for the missing crew member missions, I like going through the wreck and finding the drug packages and throwing them back into my ship.
Well, I'll do you one better, right? I own an 890, but if I had a Vulture, I'd just make bank off of that. I'm gonna you know how many pieces of 890s are gonna be around the universe?
Not many.
Yeah. Well, because they're very rare. But I mean, there was a joke about that back when the Jumptown Wars were happening. Those with the Vulture were gonna make a mad amount of money hanging around Jumptown, not doing drug runs, but just collecting all the salvage from all the wrecked Idrises that people couldn't figure out how to land at Jumptown properly.
I hope we see that again. I hope we see that again in the future.
Idrises have no business landing on planets.
I know, right? But it's. I died when I saw the ramp on the Idris. I was just like, really? It's just a big ramp? Like, it could have been like this cool crane system that had this wire rope kind of thing and lowered this platform down from the hangar bay. But no, it's just this big. It's just like, you're killing me, CIG. This is the most vanilla banal thing I could think of.
Yeah, it's like, and this is what you did.
That's like 1960s called. They want their UFO tropes back. Remember the day the Earth stood still? Remember the day the Earth stood still? It was like a giant ramp that came out of the flying saucer.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly what it is. Because
it like something much better. That's like, and they can't show it, and they're dying on the inside.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, like fuel was a thing that's in. Fuel consumption is in right now.
Yeah.
Quantum fuel, hydrogen fuel. The Starfare is in the game. The Starfare would have a use. It's a perfect storm.
It's a good time to own an energy company when I saw all those people posting their fuel prices.
Yeah, and I thought of you actually last year when you had your thing, like the fuel price. But even more than that, well, first of all, 12,000 is a significant when you're flying a Caterpillar. But it takes like 20 minutes to fill the damn things.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I just go to All-Star, fill it full of waste, and I just ram it into the station, and then I just claim it.
Why not?
And then you
Exactly.
have waste boxes. Then you have poop boxes everywhere at All-Star, and this is your game now, CIG.
Yeah.
Like you just make you could have made my fuel going faster, but no, now you just poop boxes.
Right. It's like an EV. It's like, come on, make a better battery or something.
Pete is so loyal to you doing that.
An agricultural terrorist. I like that.
But yeah,
nice.
it's.
But no, it's another example of how this game is going to be completely different when it goes live, because you just couldn't like, hey, I'm going to just ram into the station so I can not have to wait as long to refuel it.
I know that's going to be a thing. I was doing some bounty hunting today for briefly, and I had the guy I was chasing was constantly killing himself using the self-destruct mechanism before I could get him. That's just how it is.
I'd rather just be killed by you. I mean, who cares?
I don't know. It's like I was trying to kill him. It's like, dude, I'm trying to tell him in the stream chat. I'm trying to in the game chat, dude. I got your bounty. I'll clean up your crime stat for you if you just let me kill you. And he's not having it. Whatever.
Some people don't like to give you the satisfaction.
Yeah.
I would be honored to be killed by HCVertigo, but I've eluded him so far.
But you're not going to get better by fighting people who are as good as you.
No.
Like, I mean, look at me and like Star Marine. I mean, I'm hopeless, but
it's like my wrestling coach used to say.
Getting slightly better.
My wrestling coach in high school used to say, "If I can't find somebody that can whip your tail, then I'm not doing my job."
Oh, yeah. On that, is the Lubin 5 worthwhile? Should I not be carrying that?
Nah, really. That thing, you have to get headshots with that thing. It's a bit like the pistol, the arc light. It can do some stuff, but people will have better guns will outshoot you most of the time.
This is why.
I mean, if you like it, carry it, but it's just
from HC.
Yeah. I mean, pistols right now, even the Coda, against people with actual armor on, they're almost hopeless.
The Coda's nice.
The Coda's nice. I carry it to feel like a big boy, but I mean.
Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you?
Exactly. Buster knows.
Going dirty.
Is the Coda good in this? Is the Coda good in this patch? I haven't had a chance to try it.
Oh,
as pistols go, the Coda and the Arclight are like the two best pistols right now.
Still the Arclight.
We've done matches with pistols only, and honestly, like the Arclight and the Coda pretty much come out as like the fan favorites. If we have like 10 people playing we do like elimination matches, pistol onlys. Like everybody just tries the pistols. We'll do like 5 or 10 matches. Everybody just kind of rotates through all the pistols, and the Arclight and the Coda come out as fan favorites.
What's so good about the Arclight?
It's spammable, 30 rounds, and you can just slap that mouse button as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and you'll kill somebody with those 30 rounds. Unlike the S38 and the LH86, which have 12 rounds and 15 rounds respectively, you better hit those rounds in vital parts in order to ensure that you've put someone down. Especially if they're in heavy armor, you're gonna maybe have to reload. If they have a real gun, you're gonna die.
But
so I don't recommend them.
A friend who came to a bar citizen party I had, and he had a 3D print of the Arclight, and it's just not usable by a human. It's like, I don't know what they were thinking. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. So in reality, I don't know how a human could actually hold and shoot that thing. It's just not right. But the Coda is much better. The Coda is from someone who shoots a gun on a fairly regular basis. It's much more usable.
Like the weird thing about the Coda, it actually reloads the entire cylinder. Like the cylinder exchanges out to reload it, which is like extra weight. I don't know why. And it also has this really weird extraction mechanism for a revolver. So it actually takes round. Believe it or not, you can actually fire a round, and then you can zoom into the Coda. You can actually see a round missing from the chamber. You fire another round, you see the cylinder will move, and another round will be ejected. It has this really weird ejection mechanism on it. And it's just like, why? Like, you remove the entire cylinder when you reload the gun. You could just leave the rounds in there and just throw the cylinder away and put a new cylinder in. It's like it's a weird fantasy sci-fi bull stuff.
It's like AutoCAD, designed by engineers for engineers. They've never shot a gun in their lives.
Exactly.
Fidelity.
Fidelity.
Fidelity. Never used the word fidelity before.
Fidelity.
How much did that cost you? Fidelity.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
What were we talking about? Something about useful ships being put out. So, yeah,
Yes.
I'm looking forward to the Vulture. not the Vulture, the Vulcan.
Vulcan, yes. There's a Vulture
Because
in
the
Eve,
Vulcan,
right?
the Vulcan repairs, refuels, rearms, and it'd be great addition to Squadron 42. Because they had something like it in Free Space, believe it or not. For if Chris Roberts wants these very elaborate missions where you could fly around, land on planets, get out, do FPS stuff, and then get back in your ship, fly around, do more space combat stuff, they really need something like the Vulcan.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a cameo.
What about the Carrack? Like, what about the exploration mechanic? Maybe the exploration's coming out in December with the Carrack.
We just
need
don't.
it.
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, two things, right? First of all, you can always scan things down, but how do you think interstellar exploration is going to work? That's maybe a much bigger topic than tonight, but it's a big part of the Carrack. How do you make the Carrack worthwhile?
What's exploration without interstellar though? Does it exist?
You're gonna have to have interstellar like scanning mechanics, like EVE Online, where you have this probe mini game.
Exactly, but you can't just. Maybe you can. I don't know how they're going to do it, but you can't just. They can't invent content as rich as fast, or maybe they can if they do it procedurally well enough. But that'd blow my mind.
Hmm.
But that's what the Carrack's meant to do.
Yeah, I consider it just like an RV, like a double wide that I can put in orbit around someplace. This little mobile home.
I'll tell you what, I invested in the 890 because it was like, I loved it, but I was shamed into buying the Carrack. So it better live up to it.
Because you're not a true citizen of the stars that owning a Carrack?
Oh my god.
Well, I thought the Aquila. I honestly bought into this game originally because the Aquila. Like that, I was a big, 2001 Space Odyssey guy, and that whole commercial just got me, and that's why I bought it. And then, like, I was like, oh, an Aquila, yada yada, and there's all these people, a few, and others, probably just harping on me for the hell of it. But they said, oh no, the Carrack's much better, and it is. But I was like, screw you all, and I finally bought it.
I'm really disappointed. We actually went back and we watched the because people were bitching about hover mode again, and I'm just like, they were doing it on Spectrum, Reddit, and everyone says hover mode's awful, it's terrible. Like, hover mode was in the game before hover mode was in the game. as dumb as that saying sounds, hover mode was put in, but hover mode was planned to be put in a long time ago. You go watch the Aurora commercial.
Yeah.
You could actually, when the Aurora takes off in that very first commercial, I think it was the first commercial they did. It actually has VTOL fans that open up on the landing pad, and it takes off with VTOL fans. You go watch the Aquila commercial. It has VTOL fans deploy as it lands. Same thing with the Freelancer commercial they did all those years ago. You can actually watch the engines rotate down to land. So Chris Roberts was planning for hover mode the entire time. And you go watch the Aquila commercial, the Aquila has such a better view out of the cockpit in that commercial. It just kills me, because that's one of my biggest complaints about the Aquila. That's one of my biggest complaints about Star Citizen. They have these wonderful artists that build these wonderful places like ArtCorp and Lorville, Hurston, even some of those beautiful scenery. You get wonderful sunsets at like Edmonds on Hurston. You land your ship and you just get out and you're so impressed. And it's just like, I gotta take my helmet off. And then you're just like, oh, there's no atmosphere here, so I can't take my helmet off. But they cover everything up with like struts and glass effects and glare. And
you're 100% right on that. But if you could, I find the biggest problem is I can't press enough buttons to look around. But if I could land and move my head around at the same time, so if I had like an Oculus where I could look, like, it's not 100%. You're right. There's too many struts. There's too much crap. But if they made it a little bit easier for me to look around, and when you're changing lanes, even nowadays, you look over your shoulder. You can't do that easily in this game. It's just even with Game Glass or anything else. So that's
I'm finding they're getting the face tracking stuff a little bit better with the FOIP. So I've been trying that every so often. I try to remember to turn FOIP on every so often and get it calibrated. But it's one of those things where it gets kind of disorienting for my viewers, because I always look to my right. I only have one monitor. One extra monitor, so it's always to the right of me, so I'm always looking over here, and my character's always looking the same way in the game. It's just one of those things. I don't want to make people too sick watching my stream, but it's definitely something I need to play with more.
Oh, I want to make people sick watching my stream. I want them to hurl. Please don't throw up during
I did want to ask one question, just about when we were talking about the Carrack LOL. The Jade says planetary exploration, scanning, and artificial structures, life science caves, etc. Like, do you see that any of that stuff being impossible for December when the carrot comes out?
You mean like harvestables?
Oh yeah.
Well, no, just what
Harvest
Jade
keys.
said. Just what Jade said. If you look at the list she had for December.
I would love to be able to
2019.
scan for life signs because I do get annoyed when I'm trying to find somebody that got out of their ship.
But you said artificial structures, life science, caves. So caves obviously are coming up.
Yeah.
But it comes up to
basically points of interest. I mean, they know they want to hook. They did a demonstration on one of the Star Citizen Reverse the Verses, I think it was, where they actually had a power plant hooked up to an outpost, and they can make those scannable.
Yeah.
Those actually have emissions, and you can scan for those emissions. So I don't understand why they couldn't do that for an outpost. You can scan for a structure that has power.
Yes.
I kind of feel like everything that Jade said there was just like a version 3.0 if we're on V2 of scanning. She's talking about the version 3.0 of scanning almost. So the natural progression, it almost seems like. And I say this being naive, knowing nothing about exploration. So that's why I ask.
Well, exploration is going to be about just basically finding points of interest. And you can actually make that stuff procedurally generated. You don't just have a rec just put out somewhere, you scan, and you say, oh, I got a contact over here. Or you just scan, and the game says, oh, this person's scanning. Let's roll a dice to see if there's a wreck nearby. There's a dice roll that happens in the background. You have a 10% chance to get a contact. And then you get a contact. As you get closer, you scan again. The game rolls another dice to see what kind of contact that's going to turn into. Oh, you found a Starfare wreck. Oh, you found an Aurora MR wreck. Right. Oh, what's in that Aurora MR wreck? You have a loot table on that Aurora MR wreck potential.
But there's two things going on there, though. So, finding those random things is important. Finding like my structure that I spent a ton of time building with
persistence.
Pioneer.
That's persistence. Yeah, and that's going to be. I mean, we have vehicle HUD coming up in 3.8. I don't expect any of the 3.8 or 3.9 stuff to make it. They're going to be rearranging. I'm entirely convinced that the entire company will be spending the early and last parts of 2020 crunching on Squadron 42. So any of the multiplayer stuff that is needed for Squadron, not any of the multiplayer stuff that's needed for Star Citizen is going to be on the back burner. Anything they need absolutely essential for Squadron 42 is going to get pushed hard. So if you're complaining about the group system not working too well, I don't think CIG's worried too much about that right now.
Yeah.
But I think they're definitely be crunching for 2020 for Get Squadron out. I think Chris Roberts wants a December release date for Squadron.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for some of the scan. I know we had a scanning improvement tech coming up on the list here.
I thought so too, actually. Yeah.
It is actually, so I will say, so back to hover mode and scanning. So I thought I was very critical of CIG on the mining aspect, and it just turned out that I was trying to do it the old way. So they've changed the way you need to actually mine with the prospector. And when you follow the new guidelines or whatever it is, you basically have to kiss that goddamn thing and land on the ground. Almost, not quite, but it's actually a lot better, and I like it. And it works out well. I think hover mode from the prospector sense makes sense. For other ships, it's still, you have the Caterpillar or something. You should be able to take off vertically without having to tip a little bit. It has a tremendous
I just kind of strafe back and forth, either back and forth or side to side to kind of break loose the landing gear.
Yeah, no,
you don't have to rock it. You just have to strafe a little bit.
Yeah, but it has so much like thrust to weight. You shouldn't have to. But yes, but it is.
I mean, if you're fully laden, I can understand that you'd have to your vertical thrust. If I was full of like laranite or agricium or lead or gold or whatever, if I was full of gold,
but it seems like
I was just trying to
grav plating holding you there. You shouldn't have to break free. You're right.
I don't know where the vehicle standing tech went to. But I swear it was on at least Squadron's roadmap. Yeah, maybe we've already had it.
I do like the scanning again for the prospector. I like that it's persistent now. That's a nice change, and I like that there's beyond scanning. It has nothing to do with scanning, but you can find multiple rock outcroppings and things like that. And we've
already had it. We've already had the scanning tech upgrades.
But they need to the deltas between the scanning and going into mining, you should be able to get the same stats on rocks or anything in both modes, but you can't. And it seems, and HCI, I don't know if you, I'm sure you have, there's certain stats that are shown not just on ships, but on rocks. It says optimum,
the resistance,
yeah.
rock energy level, that kind of stuff.
There's two things that bother me. That doesn't necessarily tie to anything. And when you're actually mining, there's the rock energy level, and that damn thing jumps up and down. I have tried 7 ways to Sunday to figure out if that's tying to something. It's like
there's an instability in the rock.
I get that, but it doesn't seem to, I don't know if it still seems to me that it is a visual, just a little get to it, it'll mean something someday, but I don't think.
Are you talking about the little graph?
Right, yeah, the little graph. I don't think it means anything right now. I think it will.
That it ties to the instability of the rock. If it peaks up, it'll actually let you know that maybe you need to back off. It basically shows you the average energy level. If the graph doesn't move around a little much, it focuses in. The problem with the graph is it doesn't show. It shows you like the average. It doesn't show you your maximum minimum energy levels, which means the graph tends to zoom in. You have to imagine that the graph has a magnifying glass on it, and it zooms in and it zooms out depending on how unstable the rock is.
And I could see it as a wave instead of
yeah.
And I think that maybe is a factor of the prospector and the computer. Maybe you can swap in a different blade and make it smoother. And when you are in the Orion, for example, and there's this whole station based on being able to find or pinpoint the better parts in an asteroid, and you can focus people in. So I could buy that.
But that graph does have a purpose. It does display some useful information, but it's one of those things that lets you know that just how much resistance you're going to get from the rock, and if you're going to have a spike or a reduction in your effective mining energy. So if the rock suddenly increases its resistance, you're going to have to put more energy in. You'll see that in the graph as your power on the graph goes down dramatically. You're going to have to add more power to counteract that drop off. And if you see a giant spike on that graph, you're going to have to retract. You're going to have to reduce energy because the resistance in your rock went down significantly.
Yeah,
you're going to see a big spike. You'll notice it really bad on some of the really difficult rocks.
Yes, maybe on the extreme rocks, I would agree. But in general, it's kind of useful. I just spend my time looking at the rock energy.
Yeah, you look at that bar.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
For now, that's where it's at. But I think you're right. Ultimately, I think they have to dial it in, and that's not where their focus has been. It's just that'll be a very.
You're not doing any mining in Squadron 42.
No, certainly.
I'm on that. There's a reason why the Gladius got a good UI update recently.
Yeah. And
the prospector's still kind of sitting with.
They'll need scanning for Squadron, don't you think?
Yes, they will. And it's on the Squadron 42 roadmap.
So yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly.
I think the idea of scanning by a grid layout, that's kind of interesting. Seems like a really arduous gameplay, but very possible.
I think that will mature as well. I think it'll be more. Right now, you see these little grids spread out way far away. I think you'll see something that once they get server meshing in, you'll see that kind of thing spread across the planet. I think that'll get better. I think that's just a point in time statement. I'm hoping, because I'm a miner, I'm a builder, I'm a Endeavor guy who's going to build
it's all about the industry
plants ever.
It's all about the industry.
Yeah.
No, you're the sausage king of Star Citizen, though.
Hey, Froman, sausage king of Chicago.
If I can abduct Chris Roberts, I am going to, the cost for his release before the FBI arrest me will be that I have a franchise license to all hot dog stands in Star Citizen universe.
Don't give me this nonsense. You're a miner. We've already had this conversation.
He mines for sausage.
I mine for sausage.
He needs the salt so that he can put in his sausages.
You can take that as you will.
Fair enough.
Well, we are starting to draw toward the end of the show, gentlemen. If anybody in chat has any specific questions, now is the time to ask those specific questions. And what was I thinking of? I had something in my head and I just lost it. For those who aren't aware, obviously 3.62 Evocati 890J is what that is about. That should
It's all about the 890J. Haven't heard hide nor hair of ship rentals in this patch.
How much do you think we rent that thing?
Oh my
What,
God.
the 890 jump? Probably
Yeah.
10% of its cost. I mean, it's going to be several million. It'll probably be north of the Reclaimer, would be my guess. 20 mil.
Yeah.
So
Jay-
10% of 20 mil, 2 mil to rent for a day or so, or 3 days.
Jay, we will make that happen as soon as we can.
Look at
I
that.
want to rent one, though.
Man, so many people want to do karaoke. I'm not just the only crazy person.
I mean,
saying
like, when that's like Vertigo and I need to do a duet. Like,
Pitch stings.
I'll tell you
That's
what,
what I'm saying.
Jay Lee did like a fundraiser like a few weeks
Oh,
ago.
yeah,
and
he
he had
made
some
it.
serious voice talent. I'm gonna have to like.
and he raised a
Find
lot of
out.
money for that charity too.
Does he?
He did.
Very
That was
much,
great.
yeah.
But like,
Good for
I'd like
him.
to have like the Christmas, like it's gonna be the Christmas yacht for me, and that would be great to have those people who are singing.
I just want
That was
to get my
amazing.
little Walmart mobility scooter inside the thing, and drive around, just give tours, and then yell at people who are in my way. Get my
Oh
little
my
pokey
God.
stick.
I want to see you do
Just
this.
wear the armor that makes me look the fattest in there. Just be one of those.
Oh my
Can
God,
I
that
have
sounds
chicken
like the
tanner?
best stream ever. Like,
I'm
I
honestly
can't wait for that.
picturing Macklemore from
That movie,
what's that
thrift shop,
music video.
thrift shop.
Thrift
When he's
shop.
on the
He
little
comes
Thrift shop.
scooter.
He's on a scooter, yeah, and he's got all the bling bling. That's UHC.
There you go.
But
I'm dressed like a clown right now in Star. If anybody hasn't seen me, I mean,
Oh,
people
the
were
Skittles
complaining
gang.
about the bright armor sets breaking their immersion, and I'm like, you want to be broken? I will show you broken. So I literally have a white undersuit, green leggings, bright orange chest,
hey, girl.
bright blue arms, and an orange helmet, and I'm just like, no, a yellow helmet. And I'm just like, I am the clown of Star Citizen Hong Kong.
Girl, you got some immersion? Because I'm
If
gonna
VoIP
break
worked, I swear to God, if VoIP worked, I'd be running around honking at people.
it. Oh my God.
I'd have like a little of those little clown horns just
You're
to honk
gonna
into my
be-
microphone to people.
It's gonna be precious, and I can't wait. Like, even if I'm not in your stream, you need to call me and be like, "Bitch, get over here."
Just shoot people with a shotgun in the back of the head, then teabag them, making honking noises.
Shake said, "Oh, that was you." I passed at Riker's face for.
Now I know who it was.
But gentlemen, I think I am gonna start doing the thing that I do at the end, which is I go around and like ask you to tell the people who you is, what you are, and blah blah blah. And what are you about? What are you? I can't say words, so I'm gonna start with Sigelian. Sigelian, tell the people who you are, what you is, and what. I can't even say words. Well, you know the drill. Just tell them where to find you and stuff. And what you do.
Daddy, mommy's drinking again.
Mommy doesn't get drunk. She just has fun. That's a
Okay, well,
Linda
anyways.
Belcher quote.
With that.
So I'm Sigelian.
False
I'm a Star Citizen streamer. I stream Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. till 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All I do is economy and trade in Star Citizen. I'm also one of the partners for Star Racing, which is like an esports kind of brand for Star Citizen. We're also going to be doing something for the night crew on Wednesday or Saturday at 8 a.m. I have to be here at 7:30, which I'm angry about, but whatever. So stop by the night crew for 8 a.m. on Saturday for something great. I think Buster's going to tell you. Buster, you should fill them in on
Yeah,
that.
well,
Okay, sorry. Continue. Resume. Thank you.
Kai.
All right, I'm Kai Overt, and I stream on Mondays, Saturdays, and of course on Thursday nights with the Night Crew. And strictly Star Citizen. That's my jam. That's what I do. I wish I could do more. It's all I can do to hold the marriage together and still do this at the same time. But someday, after the kids graduate and my wife has found someone else better to hang with, I will perhaps someday be a partner. But that remains my nightly dream. Until then, HC, tell us a little about yourself.
I am a full-time Star Citizen streamer. You can find me on twitch.tv/HCVertigo. Schedule is Sunday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific. That is Seattle, Los Angeles time zone. You can also watch me on YouTube. I rarely upload to YouTube. I try to find fun stuff to put up on YouTube. Just stuff that's interesting to watch or fun to watch on YouTube. So I usually don't upload very regularly, unfortunately. Been slacking on that a bit. There's a lot of stuff I need to do. There's always more stuff I need to do. Yeah, we're just doing. We're kind of like we do the sampler of Star Citizen on my channel. Like it could be cargo one day, combat the other day, mining, exploration. Hey, let's go watch Benny. Let's go to Big Benny's Hinge. Let's go to the Wreck Javelin. Let's go sample some outposts and see what they look like. I've never been to this outpost before. What does it look like over there? That kind of stuff. Today we had a huge rant over Apex Legends.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that.
How not to run your community. Apparently well, we can cover it briefly here. The community lead, the community manager, and the lead developer, or the lead of the Respawn Entertainment, were calling their fans asshats, trolls, and freeloaders. Let's see if I can get the I'll link it in Discord. I swear to God, there was a
link it in the chat too.
The chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't
Let me
mind.
see. I need to find it.
Yeah, I mean, it came off like the devs weren't trying to be dicks, but at the same time, they just happened to say the wrong words.
They were. It's obvious that they were broken by the community. Like it's one of those things where we're talking about how much we appreciate Jared Huckabee. I don't particularly like what he does. His humor style isn't quite my style, but I appreciate what he does, his position and what he does for Star Citizen.
Yeah, the work he puts in.
Because here it is. I'll read like the whatchamacallit, the headline here, but it's probably what we need to do. There's the link. And I just got timed out.
Yeah.
You need to give me a permit.
Here, I'll permit you.
But it was by Medium.com. Apex Legend developers spark outrage after calling gamers dicks, asshats, and freeloaders. Users of the Apex Legends subreddit were left shocked and outraged last night as two Respawn developers called gamers dicks suggested they were asshats and described them as freeloaders in unfiltered public comments. Responding to overwhelming criticism to an official policy, step back from the game's recent controversial microtransactions. Changed in the Iron Crown event. Two Respawn developers, DK05, the Respawn project lead. I'm sorry, it's the project lead for Respawn Entertainment, and JFresh Respawn, the Respawn community manager, fired back with insults, sarcastic comments, and attacks on the gaming community. So I appreciate what Jared Huckabee does. He is what we need in Star Citizen, because no matter how toxic, how vitriolic the community gets,
about it.
He manages to keep his cool, straight-faced, and he is just exactly beautiful face, as Buster would say.
We love you, Disco. You should
happy birthday, Disco.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah.
But and then as far as me, because we were talking about that for a second.
Yes, tell us who he is and what you are and what you're all about. And
yeah,
thanks.
I can't come up with the words you did. I didn't drink as much. Sorry.
Oh my God. My name is Buster Destroyer. I stream on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Star Citizen exclusively at the moment. I have plans to push for partner in October, so please come view my stream so I can get better averages. Thank you very much.
What's wrong with September? How come you can't strive for partner in September?
People are going to be more hype about Star Citizen around CitizenCon.
Let's hope so.
Sounds like a great time to push for partner.
But and also HCVertigo recently pushed for partner, and we're waiting to hear back very soon, hopefully, if he's gonna make partner. So very good, very break the legs, as we say. Well,
when will we find out?
Break a leg, as we say in theater, because saying good luck is bad luck. Probably in what?
I submitted on the 10th.
One to 2 more weeks.
10th. Yeah, so it's about 3 to 4 weeks for them to tell you whether you're made it or not.
So basically at the end of the month, probably, or the beginning of next month.
We're all pulling for you, I think. You know, we're all got our fingers crossed. I hope that other people within Twitch are kind of the same, that we support one another. So fingers are crossed. Sure.
Because I mean, if AC can't make it, that does not bode well for anybody else.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always said, I've said it on this stream before, and I'll say it again. If anybody in this community is deserving of a partnership 100 times over, it is Vertigo. So If he does not get partnership Twitch, I will write a very strongly worded letter. No 4-letter words, but whatever. But anyway, but yeah, like I said,
a strongly worded and largely unnoticed letter. To
yeah,
Twitch.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. GGR, the legend, has showed up. I rated him so hard today, it broke his webcam.
That's funny.
It broke his webcam?
Yeah, his
literally
webcam crashed.
His webcam crashed. It was just his facial expression frozen on screen. It was hilarious. Bless his heart.
A little heart. But again, like I said, my name's Buster Destroyer, and I stream on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I host this show on Thursday nights. Please make sure to come by on Saturday morning to this channel, because you can witness the Mayhem Tournament League thing. Like I think he said 8 a.m. Pacific when that's going to start up. I believe like Spazzy McGee and some other people are in it, so make sure y'all go watch that. It will be a prize. There will be prizes for the winners, so that'll be interesting. That'll make it very interesting. But everybody make sure.
Like a $200 cash prize or something.
Yeah,
like that?
something like that.
It's extreme, so you definitely want to sign up.
Apparently there's some French community members that entered into it, and they are good. That's what I heard from Spazzy. He's like, "Oh my god, they're kicking our ass." So he's like, "I thought I was good at this until I met the French."
Yeah.
So everybody, please make sure to go check that out. And also on Saturday morning / afternoon, I will be once again on Astropub stream playing the Expanse role-playing game. Our campaign's called The Spice Must Roll. And I think we're going to go into that next session just straight combat. It's going to be crazy. It's next. I guarantee you, Saturday's session is going. If you're into combat RPG, like tabletop RPGs with a lot of combat heavy stuff going on, that is going to be the one to watch, because I think it's going to probably be a purely combat session based on what's about to happen in it. But anyway, please go check that out, and please go check out Mayhem League, and let's find somebody to stream. I was actually thinking we would stream we would somebody to raid. I was thinking we would raid Spazzy because he was our guest. He was our guest last week. Spazzy. So I think we're Beltaloda. Oh, I should send you this video about a friend of mine called GOT Academy makes some really good pop culture content, Vertigo, and I think you might be interested in his Expanse videos. So I'll send that to you later. I just thought of that. But let's go ahead and say hey to Spazzy McGee. Like I said, he was our guest last week. Very, very awesome dude. I played with him like twice. Both of my streams this week, I ended up playing with him, and I think I played with him on Sunday too. So I've been doing a lot of playing with Spazzy McGee this week. He's a cool guy, and he's got a shit ton of viewers right now.
Yeah,
shit. He's got like almost 300.
He's been doing pretty good for himself.
He's been doing really good. He's been doing really good. So everybody, when you get over there, give him all your love. If you have emote, if you have our emotes, use our emotes. If you have Vertigo's emotes, use his emotes. If you have anybody in this channel's emotes, use the emotes.
Vertigo's.
Let them know the night crew is coming at ya. Coming at ya. But everybody, have a good evening, and let me play out the little video. I'll do the stupid song that I make up. It's a totally new song every week.
I know, we gotta get the same song so we can all sing it together.
I know.
Karaoke starts here.
Oh, we'll sing leather and lace. Okay, you ready? Love us forever, face to face.
I don't know the lyrics.
My city on mountain, stay with me, stay. I need you to love me. I need you today. Give to me your leather, take from me my lace. All right, bye everybody. Thanks. Oh jeez. Oh my god. All right, ready now. Yay. And then ending stream.